Welcome back. This is part 2 of Grim Planet. Now, if you want to see part 1, go to my channel and you'll find that and 6 other videos. I put a lot up there, so subscribe or follow. You know the YouTube algorithms, but this is TikTok, of course, or YouTube, whichever one I'm posting this on. So to recap, we started with the end of the world, a giant alien spaceship destroying downtown Los Angeles. In the midst of it all, a scarred man lies on the floor dying. We go back 19 years ago, before the devastation of Los Angeles and the world, seeing Jerry as a baby and his parents, seeing all the hardships he goes through with his mom, and his dad beating up his mom. Having no friends, Jerry eventually gets into a gang initiation, joining a street gang in East LA, becoming one of the boys, Los Cranios. So his call name is Reaper. So you have Melon, Reaper, Pocket, Peanut, and Fat Cat Adolfo to the far right. So he gets his initiation at age 13, maybe inaccurate for most Mexican gangs, but I'm trying to dumb this down for a wider audience. So, you know, Jerry is now 15 years old, and he meets his girlfriend, the girl of his dreams in the form of Biani, the girl next door, the girl who has a boyfriend, but he plays around with her anyway. So this is where Jerry is now age 15. I said he was 15 at initiation, but he was like 13 years old. So he's been playing around with Biani, his girlfriend, or fake, or his lover, at 13, 14, 15. And so this is the first real hit. They're going to attack, this is Los Cranios, they're going to attack a gang for a warehouse. So they're going after Sangre Frio 5, or SF5, to conquer a warehouse, to do more illegal drug dealings and car parts and all this stuff. And, you know, so basically, so in short, Los Cranios, they like to steal pit bulls and car parts and drug deal, all the typical gangster stuff you would expect to see in a poor part of town or something opposite Hollywood or Burbank. And so they get to the warehouse in Boyle Heights. You know how Boyle Heights is, right? It's not a great part of town. They're slowly trying to gentrify it these days in real life, but in this story, Boyle Heights is a mess. So in this sort of dramatization, you have gangsters fighting, gangsters shooting at each other. In this scenario, it's a little bit different, but here Jerry is shooting it out with gangsters with guns. He's got 2 different guns, a Colt 45 and some other modern type semi-automatic pistol. But after the gunfight, the Los Cranios, they conquered the warehouse, and Sangre Frio 5 is fucked off with their tail between their legs. But Jerry, Biani calls Jerry from a payphone, and she wants to talk to him. She wants to talk to him about leaving the relationship. She's found someone new. She met someone in science class, and it was like, I mean, this is when they're in their freshman year, okay? They're now in real high school, and Biani has met someone new, and she can't be with Jerry anymore. But Biani felt like, Jerry's just a bad boy thug. Daddy, I'm in love with a thug. Daddy, I'm in love with a gangster. So, she's kind of trying to be the good girl now, and she doesn't want to, she doesn't want to be with Edgar anymore, but now she wants to be with someone new, and Jerry was always going to be the lover, the guy on the side. So I'm turning this page carefully here. And so something terrible happens. There's going to be 2 shots here. You'll see 2 bullets. 2 bullets hit her, and she falls. And she falls dying, dead in Jerry's arms. See, the thing is, so she calls Jerry from a payphone near the gunfire, the shootout between 2 rival gangs, because she's kind of been tracked. She kind of stalked him, but she wants to talk to him. So this is taking place before 2008, before the advent of smartphones and tablets. So you had to either use a flip phone or a pay phone and call someone. So Biani had stalked Jerry to where he and his Los Grenios had conquered the warehouse. So now they have this conversation, and now two shots hit her from a rival gang. So it's the end of her. I mean, like, when she dies, a part of Jerry's gone. This beautiful woman with dark hair and green-brown eyes, beautiful eyes, and she's gone from Jerry's life because she wanted him, but she didn't know how to be with him. It's kind of like that love relationship in The Godfather Part 3. Yeah, I saw that one. Except these 2 are not related to each other, but still, it was a love affair that went sour really quick. Because Biani believed Jerry to be a really good person. She really believed deep down that maybe he could change his ways and leave his gang and they could run off together. But that's those are teenagers talking about the future like it's right there. But as soon as you get old, reality will hit you in the face. So yeah, so two guys in a car shot her, but they were trying to shoot Jerry, but they missed and hit her. So she dies, and she is gone. Nothing left. So on this page here I got the police officer Sirens. And so Jerry, actually Jerry shoots, so he fires a few rounds. In this paragraph, he fires 1, 2, 3, about 3 rounds at them. They laugh at him and take off. He should have shot their tires. So it was a Corvette. My cousin Gabriel worked on a Corvette a few times in Camaros, so he liked those kind of cars. I kind of did too, but I'm not into cars as much as he was. So Biani's gone, and now Jerry's under arrest. Now, it's at this time when he's in jail, he gets a phone call, or he makes a phone call. And he makes a phone call to Fat Cat Adolfo. And it's with this phone call, it's a bit awkward, a bit weird. Because, yeah, I mean, Fat Cat Adolfo says, hey, man, I'm sorry for what happened and your girlfriend. But you got the warehouse, and so Jerry wants to know if he's going to bail him out. And he doesn't bail him out. He just says, hey, you know what? You don't cry about it. Wear a nice funeral suit. Go to the judge. Say, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. You do 30 days of community, and then you come out, then you're all right. You know, just go through the motions. So Jerry's a bit upset that Adolfo won't help spring him out of jail, you know, because, again, it's like, hey, you know, Fat Cat will work out a permit for the gun he's holding, but it's like, you know, it's basically from Adolfo's point of view, it's like, why cry about it? You're just going to do 30 days, right? But Jerry's like, but you're my friend, you know, just get me out. So he doesn't do that. So there's distrust forming now between Jerry and his boss. And he's wondering about this family that he's supposed to be with. And it's like, he did 60 days and LAPD, I wrote this one, LAPD and sheriffs decide that hanging around gangbangers automatically sent you to community and jail time. Well, that's mostly true. I mean, you don't want to be hanging out with thugs. So he misses Biani, and, you know, a lot of time has passed. Victor's overdosed, and he's a vegetable for a little bit, for a month. Drug overdose. Juan steals drugs. Brendan steals. So basically, people in the gang are stealing things from each other. There's distrust forming within the gang itself. So 3 years are passing. So Jerry's 18, and he's become a full-grown man of sorts. You know, he's still a smart-ass thug. He still thinks he can conquer the world. He still thinks he can do whatever he wants, even though now his hands are slowly being tied by authority. Even if it's not police authority, it's gang authority. Trying to be that hardcore badass that, you know, he can still work on cars. He can still do something, maybe make money. I mean, for Jerry, it's not about making friends of all kinds of colors and shapes and diversity. For him, it's all about hanging in the ghetto, making money somehow, doing cars or whatever. Like, be his own gangbanger, but not have to answer to authority. So he's at crossroads in his life. He doesn't know what to do, but he's stuck in Los Grenios. He has to still do what he's told. So we get to this chapter, Jerry at age 18. So he's moved out of the house. You know, his pa is still abusing his ma. And his mom he's saying, you know, he will change his ways. And Jerry's like, bull fucking shit, that's not going to happen. So Jerry's still narrating here. Yeah, this hasn't changed. Pa's still a deadbeat. And he's still, you know, a cheat and a liar and a beater. And his mom will forgive him because of Jesus Christ and the Virgin Mary, whatever that means. So he moved out of the house at age 17. And, you know, Los Grenios was his family, but what the fuck is a family, you know? So he admitted to cheating and abandoning his own family. And after Biani died, he just didn't care anymore about girls. But he did cheat on... He cheated with Adolfo's new girlfriend, his new fiancée that he's going to marry, some girl with fake blonde dyed hair. So Jerry's in a motel. Try to visualize this. He's in a motel, a one-star motel, with this girl, and they've had sex, and Jerry's smoking a cigarette, or she's smoking, I forget which one, how it goes, but they're talking about the future. So Jerry's like, ¿Por qué tú importa? Yo quiero saber tus sentimientos. I want to know your feelings. Tengo cansada. I have enough feelings. And Lorena's like, está todo. Que de mí, que de amor. What about love? No pregunta. There's nothing more to say. Jerry, we fucked like 5 times. I honestly lost count. And Lorena's like, I love you honestly. And Jerry's like, what's love got to do with it? Now, Lorena says something here. Take a look at where my finger is. Right here. Don't you want to settle down? Don't you want the wifey and the 2 or 3 kids and the porch swings and the Sunday afternoon and cruising in a Cadillac down the ghetto and having a barbecue with all the family at the park or the beach? If the biggest question you could ask a gangbanger, and the hardest question that's almost inappropriate for them to answer, is what do you really want? Oh, I want to make money. I want to... No. Well, I'm not talking about what you want to do tomorrow, or what you want to do today, or what you want to do next week or next month. What do you want to do? What is your goal? You know, they may say they want to run an empire. Of what? You're still running from the cops. And if is reform and then the cops and the cop gangs don't look the other way anymore, and they're going to hunt you down. Because we've seen black gangs in Los Angeles get hunted down and arrested. That could happen. That has surely happened. It all depends. You know, the FBI get involved, people get involved. They can take down gangs as easily as they let them run loose. We let them run loose to a certain point. If they get too much power, they're going to get shut down. You know, we don't have a gang control city where the police force and the fire department and the ambulance don't exist. This is not realistic. So what she's saying here is, this is what I thought about. So, you know, it's like Jerry doesn't care about her. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. All he cares about is what may happen tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. It's not about what's happening in a few years. It's what happens each day. So for him, it's how do I figure out my life each day? And right here, if you can see all this stuff here, what this is are tarot cards. Now, I don't know tarot cards very well, but tarot cards are supposed to foretell future and fates. So here you have, if you know your tarot cards, you can follow along. So Jerry's playing with a bunch of tarot cards he had. I don't know, it's just, you know, it's like he had it. I don't know if he got it. I think his mom gave him the tarot cards. So one says death, the devil, the hangman, the high priestess, the fool. There was no way to transition what Jerry is doing now to what where his fate is going. So this is the way it was. So now Jerry is 18 years old, and he's going to meet Adolfo to do a new type of warehouse conquering with a new gang. Now at this point, Jerry, each of the 4 lieutenants for the Los Gremios, each have their own gangs. So Brendan has his own gang, Juan has his gang, Mellon has his gang, and Jerry will have his. So the 4 lieutenants have like junior lieutenants, and Adolfo's still in charge. So it has now evolved. And you're going to see here that I stole from a certain movie, and it wasn't Joaquin Phoenix. It was Jack Nicholson that I stole this from. So on this page here, as I typed it out, they're going to do a new acquisition. They're going to do warehouse to conquer to make more money. But from Jerry's point of view, they've already had so much. So this acquisition, this gangland fight between 2 rival gangs for a new warehouse feels forced, and Jerry knows it feels forced. So there's a reason why Adolfo is doing it. It's not for what he says it is. Jerry suspects Adolfo has been having an affair with his girlfriend, so he feels this is revenge. So you could tell which movie I stole this from. But, you know, so these are all the different characters: Mikey Shadow, Flaky Pete, and Grifter Ian. Oh, Joey Sneezy. So there's Joey, Mikey, Pete, and Ian. Sneezy, Shadow, Flaky, and Grifter. This is Jerry's junior lieutenants. So Jerry's got to head them into a warehouse, which is full of like cars, like broken down cars, like a car salvage yard kind of warehouse, and take it over. And here is where basically Jerry says to Fat Cat, this isn't a good idea. It seems too risky with our reputation. Get Pocket or Peanut, someone with more experience. So Adolfo goes up to him and says, you know, mijo, you're going to do good. You're going to do good. We're going to do good, and you're going to do good. I trust you this far. I know you'd never betray me. Like, there's something to that, right? I know we can always be honest and true. That's why I say to you before and now, you of all my homitos, you're my prized one. So if you remember a certain actor saying to Jack Nicholson, you are my number one guy. Now don't forget your lucky deck. So you can tell what's going to happen here. It's not going to go well. So there is a gangland fight that happens, and it happens in Boyle Heights in downtown, and then there's this leader, Caesar Cruz. Now Caesar Cruz, who I created back in early 2000s, he's sort of the fix every kind of car, fix every kind of vehicle, plane, boat, truck, unicycle, motorized bicycle. He can do anything. He's this mad scientist when it comes to fixing things, mechanical things. So I created him, and he's Jerry's rival. So he's Jerry from a rival crew. So he's from Los Gallos, and Jerry's from Los Grenios. They're both heavy hitters. But Caesar Cruz would actually join. He would join society. He would join the establishment a little bit, because he's not Jerry. He's not trying to be all evil and all mean-spirited. He's not trying to be all straw man. So here's an earlier version of Caesar Cruz from a previous story. And these two gangs, they have it out. I mean, Jerry shoots it out with them. It's a game of cat and mouse, a game of chess, hiding behind cars, shooting at people. Jerry loses all of his men. All of his men are killed by dogs, or Jerry accidentally kills them, or somebody else shoots them or gets blown up with grenades. And it's kind of a comic book kind of version of a gang fight, but it's kind of more interesting that way. But Jerry loses all of his men. One by one, they're killed off, and Jerry has it out with Caesar, and it doesn't go well. So, he tries to shoot at Caesar. Caesar's, his right-hand lieutenant shoots him a couple of times in the hands, and then something else happens. Caesar tosses a grenade in Jerry's hands while he's got holes in his hands, and in this page here, Jerry falls through a window, and then into barrels of gasoline that used to be in them, and the whole thing blows up. So Jerry is burning to death, but Lorena, the woman he was having an affair with, and Adolfo find him in time. So Jerry wakes up in the warehouse. Now he's gone through a serious transformation. So it's important to notice that I've changed the font. So he talks like this, right? So think of a gravelly voice, right? And think of someone with cerebral palsy. I don't want to imitate that. I don't want to make fun of somebody handicapped, but it sounds like he has cerebral palsy and his voice is gravelly. So, right? So when he's talking, he can't get his half of his jaw is hanging. He can't get the words out correctly. And that's a devastating thing. So the person that was once Jerry Amarilla, is broken and scarred and torn apart, torn to pieces. And in his place is this deformed, scarred person. This person that is no longer human. His jaw's hanging off of his side. There's no eye here. Bits of muscle tissue. His ears are all lopsided. His teeth. He's messed up. He's seriously messed up. You have the Dr. Casillas. Dr. Casillas is based on a real Dr. Casillas who's a veterinarian. So he doesn't treat humans, he treats animals. So, but I put Dr. Casillas in there. And so Dr. Casillas talks to Jerry, and Jerry's like, so he's so angry, he's so deformed, and he's got these third-degree burns, and his face is like shit. So now he stabs the doctor. Then Lorena's shocked. So here it's kind of like when Jack Nicholson confronts Jack Palance, and the Joker confronts his boss and says, you set me up. You set me up to get killed. So yes, this is from Batman. But here, this sudden transformation, you have to care because this guy has been through so much. The system has fucked him over. And so he accused him of having him killed because he was having an affair. So Jerry points the gun to Fat Cat Adolfo. Lorena gets in the way. He shoots Lorena. Fat Cat's about to really come after him. So Jerry shoots Fat Cat Adolfo. And both Fat Cat, Lorena, the doctor are dead. But not only that, so he talked to Caesar, told him to leave town or else, but he also gave Caesar ways to find Juan Melon Camacho, Brendan Pocket VR, and Victor Peanut de la Rosa his old crewmates and tell them where they were hiding so that he could have them killed off. So all of Los Cráneos is killed off, and any junior members of Los Cráneos just fucked off and ran off somewhere else. So Los Cráneos is gone. And so Caesar, he warned Caesar to leave town, but he left town to go and Caesar Cruz had reportedly faked his death and moved to Canada. So, and Jay Bird, his partner who shot him with two in the hands, he became an actor after being discovered on an elevator. Nice. So Jerry kills off his dad. At the bottom here, he kills off his mom in her sleep and burns the house down and burns the warehouse down where Adolfo and Lorena were. So then he decided to go to the forests, to go to, I think it was Yosemite National Park. So Jerry, no longer human, he's taken on a different face, a different identity. His look is now completely different, almost like weird puzzle pieces. I created like a jigsaw kind of thing, like just a texture to his face. But that's the way he looks. His whole face deformed, just completely different. He sounds different, he looks different. His whole life is now completely different. So Jerry has taken a bus or a couple of buses using his handicap to go to Yosemite National Park. So he's going to a national park. He's going to a forest to take his life. He's figured he's done enough. This is his serape that he wears, black and white, very pretty. He's decided to commit suicide after going to the forests, after killing his family, killing his banging friends, losing Biani to rival gangs. What is his life anymore? As it says at the end here, damn, what was my life? So he brought his dagger with him. He's off to the park to die. Well, actually it says, I'm not going to die. I'm just going to move on to better things. It wasn't time to die. Just move on to better things. So tomorrow we'll go over part 3 and how Jerry's life goes from a semi-non-fictional gang street drama to one of science fiction and Order 66-like nonsense. All right, till next time.